bullets in the dawn's early light. Citizens stood for justice, their voices ringing through the night. And there were bloody footprints where mercy should have stood, and two dead left to die on Snowfield streets, Alex Freddie and Renee Good. Oh, Minneapolis, I hear your voice singing through the bloody mist. We'll take our stand for this land and the stranger in our midst. Here in our home they killed in Rome in the winter of 26. We'll remember the names of those who died in the streets of Minneapolis. Trump's federal thugs beat up on his face and his chest. Then we heard the gunshots and Alex Pretty lay in the snow dead. Their claim was self-defense, sir. Just don't believe your eyes. It's our blood and bones and these whistling phones against Miller and Nome's dirty lies. Oh, our Minneapolis, I hear your voice singing through the bloody mist. We'll take our stand for this land and the stranger in our midst. Here in our home they killed in Rome in the winter of 26. We'll remember the names of those who died on the streets of Minneapolis. Now they say they're here to uphold the law, but they trample on our rights. If your skin is black and brown, my friend, you can be questioned and deported on sight. In our chance of ice out now, our city's heart and soul persist. Through broken glass and bloody tears on the streets of Minneapolis. Oh, our Minneapolis, I hear your voice singing through the bloody mist. Here in our home, they killed in Rome in the winter of 26. We'll take our stand for this land and the stranger in our midst. We'll remember the names of those who died on the streets of Minneapolis. We'll remember the names of those who died on the streets of Minneapolis.
Thank you. That was a powerful beginning. Good morning, and welcome to the First Unitarian Church of Hamilton. We welcome you here in the sanctuary and those who have opted to join us on YouTube. The online folks are muted, and I would ask that the people here also do the same. Of course, if you're using our hearing system, you might use your phone to connect up to it, and that's what I've done with mine. And then I put it on Do Not Disturb so I don't get embarrassed during the service. My name is Barb Wallace, and my pronouns are she and her, and I am this morning's worship leader. And in that capacity, I want to thank you all for coming this morning. I know it was a tough decision for some of you. If I've read the schedule correctly, you will be missing speed skating and the luge events that are happening this morning. But you will be able to see the curling game because it doesn't start till 1 o'clock. So, and I think it's Canada versus Korea or something, so go team and all that. I watched the ceremony, the opening ceremonies on Friday, and I was listening and I heard Kristen Coventry, who is the president of the International Olympic Games, introduce a new word to me, and I believe that it fits our church really well. It's an African word, and I think it's pronounced ombuto. And it means, I am because we are. I thought it was very fitting. I really liked that. So think of ombuto as I mentioned to you the people that we thank for putting this service together today. Reverend Danny Weber will be our speaker. I'm service leading along with Nancy Wilson. The music ministers are Layla Oakes and Sarah Plevet and Gabriel Edel and Claire Miles and Matt De Silva and J.P. Morrison. The ushers are Kathy Brown and is it Elizabeth Beckett? It is. Okay, all right, good. And the ushers are, yes, okay, I got that. The worship assistants are Joan McNeil and Ian Johnston. And as well, there will be several people working in CYRE today. So if you don't see them during the service, that's where they are. Whoever you are, whomever you love, wherever you are on your journey of faith or search for meaning, today you are one of us, and we welcome you into this house of worship. Our mission is to nurture each other, serve the community, and inspire action that heals the world. But I do have these opening words from Reverend Michelle Collins. Come to this time of worship, worn, weary, or wide awake. In this gathering, we acknowledge the pressure of living, the tender ache of persisting through uncertainty, and the courage of continuing when clarity is distant. Yet, here we are, still breathing, still reaching, still becoming. Today, let us embody resilience together, not as an armor, but as the soft, stubborn practice of returning to ourselves, to one another, and to the work of love. And our land acknowledgement for today is, the city of Hamilton is situated on the traditional territories of the Erie, Neutral, Huron-Wendat, Haudenosaunee, and Mississaugas. This land is covered by the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Belt Covenant, which you heard about last week. We at our church, as well as all Canadian citizens, need to raise our voices to demand equal treatment and right the wrongs done to our Native people in our name. We search for more ways to do reconciliation. And I believe now that we have some music from Matt, right?
Sometimes I wonder if I should be medicated, if I would feel better just slightly sedated. Feeling comes so fast and I cannot control it. I'm on fire but I'm trying not to show it. As it picks me up, it puts me down, it picks me up, puts me down, picks me up, puts me down. 100 times a day, it picks me up, it puts me down, it chews me up, spits me out, picks me up, puts me down. I'm always running from something, I push it back, but it keeps on coming, and being clever never got me very far. 'Cause it's all in my head, and you're too sensitive, they said. I said, okay, but let's discuss this at the hospital. As it picks me up, it puts me down, picks me up. It puts me down, picks me up, puts me down. 100 times a day, picks me up, puts me down. It chews me up, spits me out, picks me up, puts me down. But I hear the music, I feel the beat, and for a moment when I'm dancing I am free. I hear the music, I feel the beat, and for a moment when I'm dancing I am free. I am free. Is this how it is? Is this how it's always been? To exist in the face of suffering and death and somehow still keep singing, oh, like Christ upon the cross, who died for us, who died for what? Oh, don't you wanna call it off? But there is nothing else that I know how to do but to open up my arms and give it all to you. 'Cause I hear the music, I feel the beat, and for a moment when I'm dancing I am free. I am free. I am free. I am free.
Thank you. I'd like to call up Fred Crockett to help us light our chalices this morning. Fred is one of our new members this morning, so this is his formal introduction to the whole congregation. We have
Phase one.
Yeah.
Phase one.
Phase one, right. We have several jobs that we could get, volunteer positions. We have lots of them, you know, so just let me know. Okay.
I need guidance.
All right. These words are by Michelle Collins. We light this candle for the work that takes time, the seeds unseen rooting, the tide's patient carving, the small turning of the heart toward the open ground. We look forward to what is slow and true, the steady flame that sustains our days. Yep. Mhm. Yep. And then you put this back in here. Yep. And then light that one. Just turn that over and light that. Yeah, just take that out, right? Okay. And then, yeah, turn it on. Okay. The little black button.
Okay.
You just slide it over like this.
It's the challenge.
Yes, I understand. Yes. So join me with our, thank you, Fred.
My pleasure.
Yeah, okay. Join me with our unison words for chalice lighting, if they're there. You know them anyway. May this flame be our light of friendship and love.
I have to say that it's extra delightful because Barb is the chair of our nominating committee, Fred, so you be careful what you promise her. Good morning, everyone. It is so good to be back here with you all. I feel like there's been a multiplication of people, and it has been 6 weeks and 5 days since I have stood behind this pulpit with you all. So it's really good to be back with you. For those who don't know me, I am Reverend Danny Weber. I use they, them pronouns, and after the holidays, I was very sick with the nasty flu virus, and then away for a conference. It's been a really weird winter for me, but I'm so glad to be back here. I'm so glad that you are here with me, and welcome to this space. Let us settle into this moment together with words from Reverend Gretchen Haley. Though you have been warned and given plenty of excuses, explanations, reasons to do otherwise, you have persisted to claim a life of joy and justice, to carve out this time, this space for renewal of your own heart, despite all of the reasons, the resistance, fighting for your attention, luring you towards fear, you persist to practice gratitude for this day, for this life that has been given, this chance to begin again. And so let us gather that we might offer one another courage, strength, healing, hope, and this promise to persist in kindness, persevere in compassion, and prevail in a life that is for more than ourselves. Come, let us worship together. And now I'd like to invite Jenny forward, who has a time for all ages this morning.
Good morning, everybody. I just want to mention we've had really lovely time on Friday evenings with those who have come out, so thank you for those who are coming out. And again, we encourage everybody to come out when you can. It is a child-friendly space as well, so if you have kids and you want to come, don't be shy. I bring Ivy with me whenever I can, and she usually has a wonderful time. This coming Friday, we are planning on having a Palentine's dance. With a potluck at 6 and then the dance from 7 to 9. So please bring your friends and come and enjoy a great time. Today's story is called A Lamp in Every Corner by Janine K. Grossmeyer. Yeah, there's no pictures today, so we use our imaginations, all right? Many years ago, in the land of Transylvania, in a mountain valley watered by quick rushing streams and shadowed by great forests of beech trees, there was a village of small wooden houses with dark shingled roofs. The people in the village were of the Unitarian religion, and they wanted a church of their own. A church set on the hillside, they decided, looking down upon the village as a mother looks down upon her sleeping child. So all the people of the village labored long and hard to build themselves a church. The stonemasons hammered sharp chisels to cut great blocks of gray stone, and then set the stones into stout and sturdy walls. The glaziers made tiny glass panes and fitted them neatly into the windows with leaded lines. The foresters sawed tall beech trees into enormous beams and laid the trusses for the ceiling, and then covered the roof with close-fitting wooden shingles that wouldn't leak a drop of rain. The carpenters carved wood for the pair of wide-opening doors, setting them on strong pegs so that the doors hung straight and square. A bell was brought from a faraway city and then hoisted by ropes with a heave and a hoe to the top of the tower. The weavers wore fine clothes for the altar table, cloths embroidered with flowers and edged with lace. The smiths hammered black iron into tall lampstands and hammered thin bronze into shining oil lamps. Finally, When the building of the church was done, the painting of the church could begin. The painters mixed bright colors, royal red and shimmering gold and brilliant blue. And everyone in the village, old and young, women and men, boys and girls, they came to decorate their church. They painted flowers, they painted trees, they painted designs around the windows and different designs around the doors. And at the end of the day, when it was finished, when their church was finally done, all the people of the village stood back to admire it. And then to sing a song of happiness and praise. Their village had a church now, a church set on the hillside, looking down upon the village as a mother looks down upon her sleeping child. "We will eat now," announced an elder of the village, because everyone was hungry after their long days of work. "And later tonight, we will come back to pray." So the people of the village went down the hillside to their homes and their suppers, all except one little girl named Zora and her father, who stayed behind. They had brought their own bread and cheese. They ate their food slowly, sitting on the grass on the hillside, admiring their new church with its strong stone walls, its tall tower, and its magnificent bell. After they had eaten, they went back inside, opening those carved wooden doors to go into the gloriously painted sanctuary inside. "Oh, look, Father," Zora cried, running from picture to picture with her footsteps echoing off of the stone walls. "See how pretty the church is." She stopped in the center of the church and twirled around slowly. "See how grand." "Yes, it is," said her father, looking around and nodding with pride. "Yes, it is." "But, Father," she said suddenly, "we have not finished." "What do you mean?" "There are tall iron lampstands all along the walls, but there are no lamps. The church will be dark when the people come back." "Ah, no, little one," said her father. "The light of the church comes from its people. You shall see." He rang the bell to call the people to worship, and then took his daughter by the hand and led her back outside. They waited on the grassy hillside next to their beautiful church of strong gray stone. The sun had set behind the mountains, and night was coming soon. Yet, in the growing darkness, tiny points of light came from many directions and moved steadily up the hill. "Each family is entrusted with a lamp, little one," her father explained. "Each family lights its own way here." "Well, where is our family's lamp?" "Your mother is carrying it. She will be here soon." The many lights moved closer together, gathering into one moving stream, all headed the same way, growing larger and brighter all the time. Zora's mother arrived, bearing a burning oil lamp in her hands. The father lifted Zora so she could set their family's lamp high on its tall iron stand. All around the church, other families were doing the same. Soon, the church was ablaze with light in every corner, for all the people of the village had gathered to pray and sing. All through the worship service, Zora watched the lights flicker and glow. She watched her family's lamp most of all. And when the service was over, her father lifted her high. She took the shining bronze lamp from the lampstand. Its curved sides were warm and smooth in her hands. Her mother carried the lamp home, with the flame lighting the way. The lamp flame lit their house when they returned home. Zora washed her face and got ready for bed by the light of that flame. "Mother," Zora began as she climbed into bed and lay down. "Yes, little one?" her mother asked, tucking the red wool blanket around Zora's shoulders. "Father said that the light of the church comes from its people." "Yes, but also the people take their light from the church." Over on the table by the fireplace, the shiny bronze lamp was still burning. "And we have that light every day." "Yes, indeed," said her mother. "And even when we are not in church, even when the lamp is not lit, we carry the light of truth in our minds and the flame of love in our hearts to show us the right way to be. That light, that light from light and truth and love, that will never go out. Never? Zora asked. Never, said her mother. And this bronze lamp will last for many, many years. When you're grown, we will give the bronze lamp to you, and when your children are grown, you will give the lamp to them, and all of you will carry it back and forth to church every time. But there's only one lamp, Zora said. So make another and let the light grow. And someday tell your children to make more lamps too. And now, good night, her mother said, and kissed Zora once on this cheek, and once on that cheek, and once on the forehead. Zora closed her eyes and drifted into dreams, while her mother looked down upon her sleeping child. The years passed, and Zora grew. The bronze lamp came into her care. She kept it polished and clean, and when the bell rang out across the valley to call the people to worship, she carried the lamp back and forth to the church on the hillside, the flame always lighting her way. When the time came, she made more lamps and gave them to her children, who made more lamps and gave them to their children, and so on it went, on through the years, even until today. And always, the light of truth and the flame of love from that Unitarian church on the hillside continued to grow and show them and us the way. This next song we are singing is going to be hymn number 346, Come Sing a Song With Me. But before we do that, let's sing the kids out today. So, kiddos, if you can follow Maya's over to the Rainbow Room, we will get our own program going over there. Thank you.
Hopefully some of you will remember the words to this. It's been a while. As you go, may joy surround you. As you go, go in peace. Know our love is with you always. As you go, as you go.
One of the greatest joys that we have as a community is when we welcome new members to join us in Covenant. Today, Nancy Wilson will be joining me in welcoming our 7 new members and I will be sharing a short description of each of them. And if you would like to come forward when I say your name, you can sign our membership book on the little table and then step onto the stage. So we're going to start with Fred Crockett. Fred was married by a Unitarian Universalist minister, Reverend Mac Elrod, in 1976 in North Vancouver. Though he and his wife did not attend the congregation there, he moved to Burlington in the 90s, and when his partner died in 2024, he decided it was time to connect with a community. Knowing the Unitarian principles were in line with his own, he started attending here last August.
Barb Kephart. Barb started attending last June, and it's possible that the Spring Festival was her first foray into our community. She is an adventurous soul who loves making art, taking photos, and dancing whenever she can. She owns a project management company and has 2 adult children. Barb also is a member of the audio-visual team, giving advice in management.
Sarah Plevick, with someone people might find familiar, Felix. Sarah and Felix started attending last May when Felix was only starting to crawl, but he is now 18-ish months old, 18 months, okay. And you will see him regularly climbing the stairs and up the ramp. Sarah moved back to Hamilton after spending several years in North Bay, where she was a music teacher and early childhood educator. And you will hear from her later today that she is a skilled violinist.
And Eva Chambers. Eva started attending in November and found kinship immediately. She was very good friends with a longtime member of the congregation, Charlie Wolfe, and who passed away several years ago. And if you knew him, please share your memories with Eva. She would be so grateful.
Maya Lynn. Maya came to this community as a child and always loved being here. She found her way back around 2023, and though she hasn't been a regular attender, having a 10-month-old named August has helped with having quiet Saturday nights and early Sunday mornings. Maya is also an early childhood educator, and two of her current passions are nature play spaces and communal living. And Sonia Kumar. Sonia has been connected to the UU Hamilton for more than 20 years when her parents became members in 2003. Now the mom of Avni, her 4-year-old daughter, and is it Karya? Karya, 1-year-old son. Sonia is the CEO of Body Brave, a nonprofit supporting eating disorder recovery. Sonia is drawn to the Unitarian Universalism for its openness, compassion, and commitment to justice. She is hoping to find a spiritual home where her family can learn, serve, and build community. Is Trish here? Is Trish here? Okay. We also have Trish Isles, who's not here, so we will invite her next time. We are so very glad to have you here with us and that you have chosen this community of fellow seekers to travel with you on your life's journeys. As you join into covenant with the other members of UU Hamilton, I will say that there's a slip of paper on the table. If you want to each have one of those, it might be helpful. As you join into covenant with the other members of the UU Hamilton, we ask you, will you accept our gifts of fellowship, discovery, and service? Will you offer us your unique presence and gifts? Will you add your name to the long history of Unitarian Universalist individuals who spread hope with our living faith? Will you engage with us as we seek to create a community and a world dedicated to love and justice? If you agree, please say we will.
Congregation, will you welcome these new members with warmth and comfort of your fellowship? Will you seek to add your strength and talents to the new gifts they bring to us? Will you share our triumphs and our struggles as our community grows and changes? If you agree, please say, we will.
And let us say the following part all together. As members of the First Unitarian Church of Hamilton, we respect the honest search for truth and meaning in all persons and all religions. We strive to accept differences as opportunities for growth in our life as a community of faith. We celebrate and honor our common purpose with a shared commitment to enhance the quality of light. All. Thank you, everyone. Please take one of the gift bags with you. Inside you will find a chalice pin, a book about the Unitarian Universalist faith, a copy of our covenant, and a lantern so that you can carry the light of this community out into the world. And as the new members return to their seats, I'd like to share a few final thoughts. These were written by Liz James, who some of you had the opportunity to meet when she preached here on January 11th. And they're entitled Re-Membership. Today, you join in membership. This is a moment of excitement and possibility. And although I don't wish to pull you out of this moment, I need to talk to you a bit about a moment in your future. There will come a time when when we are not a community of excitement and possibility that is your true home. There will come a moment when you do not fit, and we will disappoint you. Memorize the feelings that you have in this moment, because you will need them months from now or years from now. You will need them in the broken-hearted moments that will come when you realize that we together are not all that you thought we were. You will not fit. If every one of us fit, we would not be called to grow. This religion is not a thing that you join. It is a thing that you are called to co-create. So prepare now for when we break one another's hearts, knowing what will carry you through that and knowing who will carry you through that. Be ready. Hold on to this moment and this memory for that time in the future when you are ready to turn away. Your moment of remembership will be the one of the most precious parts of your journey in Unitarian Universalism. Today, plant the seeds in your heart that will prepare you for this. Thank you so much for joining us in community. You can go back to your seats. And before I move on, I wanted to share with everyone else here that over the next few weeks, we will be putting all of our members' names into our new membership book, which I bought the congregation for our installation ceremony in October. This book will be out for everyone to sign it over the next couple of weeks, all of the current members to sign. With the help of Bill Johnston and technology, your names will be listed in chronological order of when you joined the church. So please have a look at the book at the welcome desk next week and for the next few weeks. Let us settle into our bodies again with a moment of prayer and contemplation. I invite you to relax. Close your eyes, if that feels safe in your body, and take a few deep breaths. Following our reading, there will be a few moments of silence, followed by music. During the music, you are welcome to come up and light a candle of joy, sorrow, or gratitude. And now a prayer, written by Reverend Michelle Collins. Source of love, spirit of interdependence, weaver of the web that holds us all. We give thanks for the hands that have steadied us, the voices that remind us we are not alone, the presence of those who have leaned on us just as we have leaned on them. Resilience is not a solitary triumph. It is woven through community. Shared meals, gentle questions, laughter that breaks through grief, courage borrowed from one another when our own runs thin. In this moment, let us remember that we are stronger together than apart. May we continue to offer and receive care, trusting that our connections sustain us, even when we cannot behold the whole picture. Blessed be the bonds that hold and that keep on holding.
We come now to a time in our service when we affirm the ways that we are connected to this life. And as we live into the truth that what affects one of us affects all of us. In the spirit of community care, let us open our hearts to one another and all we hold sacred. There are no sorrows written for us today, but sometimes the sorrow within our lives are too tender to share. We hold those in our space today with the reminder that we are never alone. But alongside the sorrows and struggles of this life, there are also joys to share, milestones, blessings, and celebrations of all kinds for which we are moved to give thanks. And this morning we have a joy and a gratitude from Sheila Dundooley. It says, if you are looking for an opportunity to relax, eat, laugh, create, chill, or just be, come to the Third Space Cafe on Friday nights at 6 o'clock. Martin and I came once, and just to be nice. You know how Sheila is. And now we never miss it. So thank you, Sheila, for that and that little plug for the Third Space Cafe. Good. If you have a joy or a sorrow or a gratitude to share with the larger congregation, you can do so by clicking the joys and sorrows on the website, right at that on the top right-hand corner of the website. Or when you come in the morning, you could write it in our book on the side there, and we will announce it for you. Sharing the tender moments of our life and witnessing one another is part of the building of the web of the beloved community. May we hold this space for our community care to share with courage and vulnerability. And we'll go on to the offering. I have these words from Kristen Collins. She's been very prominent in our service today. We give to remind ourselves how many gifts we have to offer. We give to remember that we are part of something bigger than ourselves. We give because we believe in music and sacred space. We give with faith that together we have enough. We'll now collect our offering while we listen to our offering music. Oh, sorry. Thanks for your gifts this morning.
Before I dive into my homily, I just wanted to raise the fact that all of our music ministers today are relatively new to our community, except for JP, but how could we say no to his offer for that song at the beginning? So just a huge moment of gratitude for the music team who, when they found out that we were doing a new member recognition ceremony, thought that they would bring in other new people in our community to share. Thank you. As I mentioned earlier, it has been 6 weeks and 4 days since I had the honor of speaking to you from this pulpit on Christmas Eve. And yet it feels like at least a year's worth of events have happened in that short time. We heard JP this morning recount Bruce Springsteen's words about Minneapolis. In the last 2 months since ICE entered the Twin Cities, they have arrested more than 3,000 people, all while violating more than 100 Minnesota court orders. The capture and detaining of the Venezuelan president, as well as the escalating threats to take control of Greenland, definitely affected the speech that Canadian Prime Minister made at the World Economics Forum in Davos. And even if there is a lot of rhetorical defiance within what he said, almost 20 days later, the words have not been followed up by any changes or even announcements to change. Continued environmental chaos shut down cities across the eastern parts of this continent, including over 500,000 households without power due to the snowstorm in Tennessee, Louisiana, and Mississippi. And downtown Toronto had breaking records of 56 centimeters of snow that all fell within less than 24 hours. Not to mention the military crises that continue in Sudan, Gaza, Ukraine, Syria, and countless other places. The opening words of the song that Mac sang this morning, Free by Florence and the Machine, captures much of how my internal monologue has sounded over the last 6 weeks, and how my nervous system has been navigating the twists and turns of the world for the last impossible to count number of months and years. The lyrics began, "Sometimes I wonder if I should be medicated, if I would feel better just slightly sedated. A feeling comes so fast I cannot control it. I'm on fire and I'm trying not to show it." The second verse has this line, "And being clever never got me very far, because it's all in my head, and you're too sensitive," they said. And the third verse, "Is this how it is? Is this how it has always been? To exist in the face of suffering and death, and somehow keep singing." This question, how do we continue to sing, continue to exist in a world that is perpetually suffering as people kill one another and the ecosystem around them? This question has so many possible answers, and this is what we will be continuing to explore and practice this month with the theme of embodying resilience. We begin this morning because I believe that one of the most powerful acts of resilience is gathering with community and being intentional about the building of that community. Like Liz James stated in her meditation, Remembership, there will come a time when we are not a community of excitement and possibility that is your true home. There will come a moment when you do not fit and we disappoint you. Prepare now for when we break one another's hearts. Know what will carry you through that, and know who will carry you through that. Be ready. Hold on to this moment and this memory for that time in the future when you are ready to turn away. There is this beautiful parable that, while not directly related to collective resilience, when it comes to disappointment and outrage, I feel as though it can help shed a little light here. The parable is that of a choir singing together. When at times the music requires singers to hold notes longer than they are able. In those moments, singers are taught to mindfully stagger when they take a breath so that the sound appears uninterrupted to the audience. Everyone gets to breathe, and yet the music stays strong and vibrant. Perhaps your resilience will falter. Perhaps you will become disillusioned with the world around you or with parts of the community that you have gathered close to you. But if you are able to find a moment to pause and breathe, come back into community, and hold resilience for those around you. The light of this church comes from its people. Each family is entrusted with a lamp and holds onto the light of our chalice, or holds onto a light of the light of our chalice within their hearts each week when we extinguish our flame here. Taking the flame out into the world and sharing the light of truth in our minds and the flame of love in our hearts to help us show us the way. There's one other thing that I've sat with for quite some days now while I was away over these last weeks. I really wrestled with the notion of self-care, rest, and wellness. I spent the first 10 days of my holiday in quiet rest and relaxation with my partner Adam and our dog Bryn, enjoying lazy mornings, days on the couch, reading or knitting, watching TV and movies. It was luxurious, indulgent, and pretty self-centered. But I knew this rest was something that I had earned, working overtime and skipping many days off between late August and mid-December. And it wasn't until January 2nd that I started to feel the symptoms of the flu virus, 2 days before I was set to come back to work. Although I had given myself the time to rest and spent time taking care of my tired body and mind, my immune system was still ragged. The virus decimated my energy levels, and I had a fever for over 8 days. And when I finally came back to the office, I continued to struggle with my workload. I have spent a lot of time trying to unpack some of this, trying to convince the capitalist narrative that I was born into and have existed within to be quiet. And then 2 weeks ago, Jenny sent me a Substack, which was entitled All Flourishing is Mutual, written by Dr. Thomas Tijirni. He writes, "Capitalism teaches us that happiness grows with acquisition, but the nervous system knows better. It stabilizes not through more, but through rhythm and through cycles of effort and rest. The wellness market thrives on the opposite message. Every product implies that peace is one purchase away. The result is an economy of scarcity built on top of abundance itself. His argument for resistance is to reclaim wellness. Quote, "For a long time, I confused wellness with comfort. I thought health meant avoiding pain, controlling variables, mastering balance. But liberation, I have learned, feels different. It doesn't really have anything to do with control. It has much more to do with connection. The wellness industry sells peace as an escape, but real peace often grows from engagement, from showing up where the world still hurts and learning how to breathe there. True self-care isn't an indulgence, it is a refusal. When we slow down, eat intentionally, or refuse the pressure to overwork, we are defying a culture that measures worthiness by productivity." The blog title, or the title of this blog, is "All Flourishing is Mutual," and that comes from Robin Wall Kimmerer, and it's the key concept in her book, Braiding Sweetgrass. Quote, "When water is polluted, air thick, or soil dead, the nervous system recognizes loss before the mind can name it. Environmental justice is nervous system justice." And if you have the ability to separate one from the other, it is because you have been privileged enough to do so, either by living in an environment not dictated by the weather systems that are around you, eating organic produce because you can pay for the minerals that are historically being wiped out by chemical fertilizers used for decades to grow our crops. Community wellness is a form of resistance because it interrupts isolation. It says healing belongs to everyone. Shared meals, neighborhood gardens, movement groups are all the infrastructure of collective care. They don't require wealth, only willingness. They bring wellness back to where it started, with people tending to one another. And so I invite you all to join me in this idea of collective resilience. One where we resist the pull of the seductive story that more is better and acquisition will increase our happiness. Where we move through the cycles of effort and rest, and I will say shorter cycles of effort and rest, not ones that rely on months of effort and days of rest. Instead of wallowing in the unfairness of being handed lemons, perhaps find the person in your life that was given sugar and make a team. And then find the person in your life who was given water and become a gang, a sweet and refreshing gang. Let us start on this pathway by collectively singing our next hymn, number 1017, "We Are Building a New Way."
We are building a new way. We are building a new way. We are building a new way.
These benediction words were written by Reverend Dr. Rebecca Savage. We have blessed each other with word and song. We have embraced the greater truth of our resilience, one that is terrifying to systems that would keep us isolated, afraid, and angry. For when we come together, we remember who we are and whose we are. We are a living tradition of people who love fiercely, serve mightily, and journey humbly with the spirit of life. May we depart in peace. May we depart as beloveds held together in spiritual community. Wherever we are, wherever we go, may resilience cascade within us until we are together again. And I would like to invite forward Leah for our postlude.